So we'll start in the next. Okay, it's almost 7 already. Let's give others. Yes, the class will be It's recorded already, so it will be uploaded. I need to manually add everyone. I need to find a way to add everybody. Okay. Can you see my screen? No. Okay. All right. So it's 7 o'clock Nigerian time. Um, we won't have to wait for everybody. Uh, where is essentials one? All right. So you can um mute. You can unmute yourself. Introduce yourself in either the chat or if you want to talk, would you can talk and then let's just know where you are, who you are, and where you're joining us from. All right. It seems no one wants to start first. Okay. All right. So my name is Ebube. I would be your instructor for today. From tomorrow, the classes will be distributed. We'll have all of you in groups will be taught by different people. So for today is the introduction. Today is mainly to introduce you to the programming. Oh, I've been talking and I'm muted. Sorry. Um, as I said today, I'm not sure you heard me before. So my name is Ebube. I'm the chief instructor at Guru Coding Academy. And for today, we'll be having an introduction session where I would be here to just answer your questions about the language and then introduce you to what you'll be doing in the course of this program. So we have different people. You've all been assigned to groups. So you'll be learning in different groups. You'll be working on your project group by group, and you'll be assigned different teachers for the next 2 months. So before I go on, I want to give room to anyone that has a question. If you have a question or you want to clarify anything, please you can ask now. Does anyone have a question or do we move on? Oh yes, Benjamin, please you can ask. Let me mute Teresa. Good evening. Okay. Okay, so the requirements for this class is a beginner class. So you don't need any previous knowledge of programming or anything. But what you do need is number one, your computers. And if you don't have a computer, you can still learn without a computer. You can use your phone because it's a completely beginner, like a complete beginner class. So you can use your phone if you don't have a computer. I usually don't like people limited because you don't have a computer does not mean you can't learn Python programming, at least to intermediate. So you need your device, either your laptop or your phone, and your book. If you're someone that takes notes with book and pen, I think that would help. And that's basically it. And a willingness to learn. That's all. Okay, so you of course you'll be installing Python. That's what today's class is for. Today's class is to take you to where you download Python, because some people using Windows and some people using Mac will download different softwares on the platform. So I'll just share the link with everyone, then I'll show everybody how to download it. I don't know. I would be biased because if I tell you Windows is better, that's because I use Windows. I don't use Mac. So I think the challenge here for you that has the two would be to install on the two places and then see which one works for you. Okay, that's fine. Anyone you prefer, but I'm used to Windows, so I can only talk about Windows. All right. So you're welcome. So Fasulu, you raised your hand. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, it's recorded. It's recorded. Okay, yeah, I lost network. Sorry. Fasulu was saying something. I'm so sorry about that. I think yes, the class is being recorded. Um I saw a message on WhatsApp. Okay, okay. Yes, the class is being recorded. Class is being recorded. I someone is Kennedy. You're raising your hand. Please, you can speak. Okay, okay. You're welcome. I believe you've asked someone else's question too. So it's a certificate program. It's a 2 month certificate program, not 1 month. Um, we could make it 1 month, but I believe many of the people here are working, so your weekdays are not free. So we can't just pack everything to the weekday. That's why we're extending it for only weekends for 2 months. It's a certificate. It's a certificate, a Python programming beginner certificate. Yes. Someone asked a question. Teresa, sorry. I saw a question before I lost network. Um, I want to be sure I'm not missing anything before. You asked a question before, but I can't see it again. Teresia Mwangi. Yes. Yes, they have different. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes, I remember your question now. I think it's the same. Um I would make sorry, I'm trying to accept someone. Yes, I would show us the site. You get it on the Python site. Please speak so I don't interrupt you. Okay. I don't know if I've lost network again, but have I answered your question? Teresia, are you there? Okay. All right. So let's move on. So that we've had 10 minutes and I will go ahead to proceed to actually downloading the software. Kennedy's hand is still up. Mr. Kennedy, do you have a question? Okay, it's that one. All right, so let's proceed. Um, okay, so Python is a very good way of getting started in programming languages because it's easy. I've had experiences with other programming languages, and Python was what made it easy. Like I struggled for years learning. I struggled, if I have to admit, I struggled up to a year struggling with JavaScript. And JavaScript, it was not so convenient. But then I went to Python and I realized that it was what made every other language make sense. So many people have different experiences, but that was my own experience. And ever since I've gone on to study Python to my actual, I'm certified from Python Institute. This material you can see on, I believe you can see, is what is used to prepare you for Python Institute's main certification. That's like the main organization, Python organization. I'm certified as an entry level programmer and a professional. So that's why I usually recommend this site, which I will send to all the group chats for your personal study during the week. So, what do we use Python for? Okay, someone wants to join the meeting. Please hold on. I don't know why I can't do this manually. Automatic. Okay. All right. So we use Python for so many things. You can use Python for game development, mobile app development, web development, so many things. Like you can automate scripts with Python. NASA they use Python in the sky. Different things you can use Python for. It allows you to explore programming from a basic level. Now we have when we go further, you will realize the power of Python programming that would be very potential in helping you go further. It never stops at this point. We use Python for web application, machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, data analytics. There's so many things you can do with Python language. This beginner phase just welcomes you into the world, and then you will decide the part you want to specialize in. So let me go to the actual class so we can start the module. So to download today's class, I'm not going to keep I'm not going to keep us too long here, but we're going to just look at the introduction. So in the course of this class, we will look at introduction to Python and computer programming, data types. I don't know if you can see my screen clearly. Sorry. Data types. This is distracting. Okay. Data types, variables, basic input, output. We look at Boolean values, list and list processing, and data processing. By the end of these 2 months, all these things will be familiar to you, and you'll be able to understand them basically. So now, why do we choose Python for learning? Number one, Python is easy to understand. It is easy to use to write new software, and it's very easy to obtain, install, and upload your app, your Python software or your Python app. Sorry, next class I would have to figure out this admission thing. So please just sorry about that. So so where do you use Python? As I said before, we use Python for web development, internet development, scientific computing. We use Python in education, in software development, desktop GUI, and business apps. We use Python for game. I'm not going to overemphasize on this because as we go on, we'll see the areas where it is being used. So you would have first-hand experience of how it works and how and on and identifying Python program everywhere you go. So let's move on. I want to go straight to downloading Python. So we'll go to www.python.org. Let me copy this code, this link, and send it to the chat. I've included the link direct in case you don't want to type it manually. Go to www.python.org and go to downloads. When you go to downloads, um, okay. So when you go to downloads, you'd see looking for Python with a different OS. You see Python for Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and others. Okay. Please, if you have any question at this point, because I would have preferred if we are doing it manually, but because of time, I'm aware this is 9 p.m. for some places, and then someone else, this is 11 p.m. for him. So just ask me your question so I don't leave you behind. You come here to the downloads and then you click. I use Windows. Okay. Please, Chris, ask your question. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't download this. Did you click? Can you see my screen? Yes, stable release. That's the one I wanted to show you. But can you see my screen? Okay, so have you gone? This is where you are. This should be where you are. So as I know, um, the latest edition is, yeah. This is the latest edition. So you click the latest one. They have latest Python 3 release. You click it and it leads you to another place. But I think my network is slow, so that's why it's hanging. Okay, good. So you come down here. The one that is they described as recommended is the one you're downloading. Yes, yes. 3.11.5, and you download the one that is recommended. I think everyone should be here before I go on. I want to come back and see. Yes, Ayo DG, please ask the question. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the one that is okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yes, you have. Okay, sorry, I didn't understand you. So wait, we have the 32-bit byte, I don't know, and the 64. So choose the one that is specific to your system and then you download it. I will share my screen again and I'll share my screen again. Please, I'm in meeting. Oh, I'm in meeting. Okay, 3.11.5. Okay, 3.11.5. Is that it? Are you good? Okay, so 3.11.5 is the one to download. This is everyone there. I think this part, because different people are, everybody should be working on downloading. Yeah, yeah, okay. I need other people to let me know if they have issues so that I can help them. Please raise your hand if you're working on downloading yours now so I carry you along. Okay, so Antonio is working on his. I need to know if you're downloading it now so that I can give you assistance now. Okay, Glory is also working on hers. All right, so I don't know the rest. I think I have 22 people here. Where do we get the recorded video? It will be sent to the group chat tomorrow morning. I think it can be sent this night, but I'm not sure. I think tomorrow morning will be better. So tomorrow morning you receive it. All right, no problem. I don't want to go on and assume everyone is on the same page. So please feel free to ask your questions. I'm here to help everybody. So please feel free to ask your questions so that I can guide if you need help. The only thing we are doing today is to install Python, and then okay, yes, the link will be sent on the group chat on the WhatsApp group. But let me show a demo of it for the sake of the recording. So I will go again to show for those that just came. So the first thing you will do is to go to www.python.org, and then when you go to python.org, you go straight to downloads. When you go to downloads, you click downloads. If you click download and you're using Windows, you click Windows. If you're using Linux, you click it. If you're using Mac, you click it. But if you're using another operating system, you click it. Then when you click, for the sake of the class, I'm going to click Windows because that's what I use. And you'd see that they've told you that this is the latest release version of Python available now. So you click latest Python 3 release, and then you scroll down to the end of the page and you see the files, the Python files themselves. So you go to Windows. I usually download the recommended because because it's recommended, but you can choose the compressed, you can choose universal installer. All these ones usually lead to other platforms, but it just focus on Windows installer for 32 bits, Windows installer for 64 bits, and there you will have it. It will You will see it in your download, and after downloading, you have to install. So, are we there? Okay. So since I want to assume everyone has downloaded the okay, yes, let me speak for those that don't have laptops. On your phone, on your phone, you would visit www.replit.com. I will also send it to the group chat. This is another platform that would allow for you to write code in your with your phone. So if you have your laptop, download straight from python.org. For the sake of this class, if you don't have a laptop but you want to write code, use Replit. So for Replit, what you do is you just go to click repo, then click Python, and they will create a Python file for you, and you can write your code in your laptop, in your phone. Sorry, you create your file, and you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do so much, but you can. This will allow you to write code with your phone. I don't even know if I'm carrying people along. Please, are you? If you're following the class, please leave an emoji in the chat. Thank you. Okay, all right. Okay, yes, thank you. I'm seeing some emojis. So that's let me leave room for questions, please. I need questions from people. So because if you don't get it at the beginning, you may not understand it at the end. So if you have a question, notify, just call my attention to it and know. So at this stage, you've either downloaded Python on your system or you have access to Replit. Okay. Um that's just basically how we've installed it. We're not going to use other IDE like let me stop my presenting. We won't use other IDEs today like VS Code, PyCharm and all of that. But we're using Python today. We're using Python today. We're just going to install the only for this main class, we'll only be using Python idle. That's what we're going to use, and I'll show you that now. I will show you what it will look like after you finish downloading. This is what you should see. in your file. This is what you should see in your laptop. So you go to where you have your files. Let me hide this. You go to where you have your apps, and then you click your interface may be different from mine, but you go to where you have all your apps listed out, and then you scroll down for Python. You have your Python 3.11, and you would have this folder. So you have idle, you will have this one, you will have manual, and you have the documentation. The only thing we need here would be the idle. The only thing we'll need for this class is this idle. Then when you click it, okay, it seems I have a question. Yes, Chris, ask your question. Yes, if you want to, but it's better you install it now so that you follow what I'm saying. But if you've downloaded, I didn't get you. Oh, okay, yes, okay, sorry, maybe I didn't say it, I didn't emphasize on it. After downloading, you install, and after installing, it will be in your app, in where you have all your apps listed. You see Python dot 11, the folder there. So when you go to the folder, like I showed before, you go to the folder, you see it. I don't know if it's the same for Mac, but for Windows, to parts. Okay, yes, click on the three of them. Yes, add it to parts. Yes, add it to parts, and accept admin privileges, because you may be adding files on your admin folder. It just saves you from complications later. Yes. 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 Um okay. So when you've opened idle, um to write your code, okay, you go to file. Let me increase my idle so we can all see it clearly. Let me increase it to 25. Okay, so apply. Okay, still the same thing. So go to file by the left, you click new file, and if someone wants to join, let me admit. So you go to file, and when it opens a new page, you write your print. Let's say I want to print something random now. Usually in programming, the first thing we do is to print a hello world statement. So in Python, how we do that is we write print hello world, and we close it. So you have your print statement, your opening bracket, your quotation opening, the text you want to print, you close the quotation and you close the bracket. Don't worry, you don't need to cram this for now. By the end of this, by tomorrow, I would explain to you how this statement works behind the scene, and what happens when you use print statement, and what each of these things stands for. But if I go ahead to run this, and they will tell me to save my file, this new file I've opened, and I click OK, I will save a name. So let me just save Python class. I'll save it as Python class, and on my console, it has printed what we have here, hello world. So from print hello world, it went ahead to print hello world to my screen. So I think if you followed the tutorial from that point to now, you have a basic understanding of how it works. So please, you can ask your questions now so we can leave in the next 10 minutes. I feel like asking people to specifically talk. I don't know if I should do that, but we have Joe Ngugi. Okay, Mary always raising her hand. Replete. Okay, okay, all right. Why are we not? Okay, so let me show the Replit, then I'll answer Teresia's question. So now, if you go to Replit, as I told you, you create. Let me go to the beginning again for the sake of the class. Oh, my screen is not sharing. Sorry. So if you don't have your phone, um, the interface will be different too, but it's going to be the same thing with your device, right? So you go to home page. When you create your account, this is the basic home page you'd see. So you go to where you have create repo, then you click it, then you indicate that you want what you want to use is a Python file. You can either use a blank one or you can use Python, but Python is just going to make it easier. Then you click it, they will automatically open the template for you. And when they open it, they've opened a default Python file, which they probably saved as main.py. So it's opening now. And I wrote print hello world before. And when I run it on the console, it should print hello world on the other end. So I've been able to show you how you print. Sorry, sorry, I'm on call. I'm on teaching. So I've been able to show you how to use print here. Let me be sure. You print hello world and it comes to the other end on the console. There, Mary, do you get it? Okay, so it's just to open the template file and then it leads you to writing your code on the spot. You don't have to install any other thing. Then for Teresia, the reason we're not using VS Code now is because you're learning. If you have VS Code, you can use it, but if you don't have VS Code, it's just preferable to use iDo because it doesn't complicate things for you at this point. Because you have to now install Python, you have to install something. I think the installer, you have to install a lot of things on VS Code to be able to use Python. That's why. But iDo is direct. It's direct and you just use it straightforward. So yeah. You can use today and tomorrow. I think I'm actually done. If there's no other question, does anyone have any questions so that I cover it and I don't ignore anyone's question? Okay, Mr. Kennedy. Yes, okay, so first of all, the class is being recorded, so definitely you will see it in the morning, and then in the morning a you will definitely have a recap of what we've done yesterday, and then tomorrow everyone will be writing code on the spot, so it will be an interactive class. So definitely you have from now till tomorrow's class sorry, you have from now to tomorrow's class to download and then to follow the exercise tomorrow. All right. So I believe we've come to the okay. I'm seeing a message. So yes, so to download VS Code, you go to VS Code website. The same way you downloaded Python is the same way you download VS Code. You download it and then install it. So I will send the link to the group chat. I will send all the links I made mention of today, including the VS Code. So if you want to use VS Code, fine. But it's usually best to use I do that is straightforward. But then there's beauty in VS Code because let me show you something. Like when I used Replit, it showed when I typed print, right? I typed print and I opened my brackets, it automatically closed it. So that's the difference between I do and VS Code. VS Code allows you to focus on the code you want to write and not on the small technicalities of bracket and quotation and all of that. It would show up whatever you want to type, it will auto complete and things like that. So it's still good to use it, but it's not necessary. So I'll send everything in case you want to use the two. I'll send everything. You have the materials available to you, and then you make your choice of the one you want to use. But I do is recommended for beginners. So yes, we've come to the end of today's class. Okay, someone's raising their hand. Yes, Benjamin. No, no, it's fine. It's fine. Ask. I want people to ask questions, so feel free. I can show that tomorrow. I'm just considering the fact that there are so many people here that it's already late for them and you probably had a busy day. So I don't want to go beyond this now. I already have VS Code open on my system for a project I'm working on. So I don't, so I could have just shown, but tomorrow I think I'll put that down and then tomorrow I would show everyone how to use VS Code. So I think okay, since it's coming up, I will show VS Code and I do. Then you make your choice. Whichever editor you want to use by yourself, you use it. All right, you're welcome. Before I conclude again, does anyone have a question? So move on. Okay, so no one is saying anything, so I believe we are good. So thank you for your time. I would not keep you guys more than the next 1 minute. Thank you for your time. You can start leaving now. Tomorrow's class is 12 p.m. Nigerian time. You can check your calendar. But I would notify everyone. I'll try to send the time in everybody's time zone so everyone is aware of the time so you don't miss it. And then you can prepare your questions tomorrow ahead of time. So good night, everyone, and enjoy your weekend.